A new Blade film from Marvel was announced 6 years ago, and since then, the production has mostly drawn attention for its problems, including multiple delays and director changes. Now though, it looks like things are finally moving again behind the scenes. Insider Daniel Rickman revealed on his blog that filming is expected to begin in 2026. Now, this fits with a recent statement from Marvel boss Kevin Feige, who confirmed that Blade is still on the studio's agenda. Feige emphasized that they are deliberately focusing on quality rather than producing a half-hearted film. The final version will now be set in the modern day, while earlier ideas for historical settings have been scrapped. The director's position is still vacant. Numerous directors have already left the project due to creative differences. And at one point, even John Wick director Chad Stahelski was reportedly in talks. But that didn't lead anywhere either. The future of the iconic vampire hunter therefore remains uncertain. Amazon is working on a series adaptation of the legendary video game franchise Wolfenstein. As Variety exclusively reports, the new TV production is being developed in collaboration with Kilter Films, the creators of the Fallout series. Jerk Gustafsson from the development studio Machine Games is also on board as executive producer. He's been responsible for the modern Wolfenstein game series for years. Now, while specific plot details are still being kept under wraps, the official logline is already drawing attention. Quote, "The story of killing Nazis is evergreen." This suggests that, like the most recent games, the series adaptation might not necessarily be set during the traditional World War II era. The Wolfenstein series has a long history. The first game was released back in 1981. With the groundbreaking Wolfenstein 3D in 1992, the franchise became a milestone in the first-person shooter genre. There's been 14 games in the series in total, and a film project was announced as early as 2012, but it was never realized. There's been a promising new update on Amazon's God of War series. At San Diego Comic-Con, showrunner Ronald D. Moore talked about his series adaptation. He gave an insight into the current state of production and spoke about the number of episodes and the start of filming. At the moment, the writing team is still working on the scripts. Moore made it clear that he doesn't want to adapt the games frame by frame. For him, the adaptation into a live-action format is also a kind of interpretation. At the same time, however, they will not stray too far from the original material. In an interview with IGN, he stated that the show and the games will be very similar in tone. The focus will be on the main character Kratos and his son Atreus. So, the series adaptation is therefore based on the popular 2018 God of War game. The first season will consist of 10 episodes, but it's already clear that it won't stop there. Amazon has already ordered a second season. How many seasons the series will have in total is not known yet. However, filming for the first episodes will not take place this year. When asked about possibly starting in 2026, Moore simply said, "We shall see." So it looks like God of War fans will have to be patient, as the series is still a long way off. Feel free to tell us who you would like to see in the lead role. Who do you think could best portray the seasoned version of the brutal Kratos? It's emerged as the breakout hit of the summer, K-pop Demon Hunters. Within just 6 weeks of its release, the Netflix production has become the most successful animated film in the streaming platform's history. Now, entertainment outlet The Wrap reports that Netflix is exploring several new projects set in the K-pop Demon Hunters universe. According to the report, 2 sequels are currently under discussion, which would form a full film trilogy. A live-action adaptation is also being considered. And as if it weren't enough, The Wrap's sources claim that Netflix is also contemplating the possibility of a stage musical, a short film, and a TV series. Now, these are quite ambitious plans, but given the movie's success, Netflix appears to see great potential for a franchise. After all, not only is the movie itself incredibly popular, but the songs are currently going viral as well. Several tracks have made it into the charts over the past few weeks. The movie features an unusual concept. It centers on K-pop superstars Rumi, Mira, and Zoe. However, the 3 lead double lives as demon hunters. They must face off against a boy band whose members are demons. We can't wait to see what adventures await Rumi, Mira, and Zoe next. Of course, it remains to be seen whether all of the mentioned projects will actually be realized. Have you seen the movie? What are your thoughts of it? We look forward to reading your comments. Jason Voorhees is getting ready for a bloody comeback, and in two ways at that. At this year's Comic-Con, Robbie Barsimian, Vice President of Horror Inc., had the pleasure of announcing a new Friday the 13th movie. The title, Sweet Revenge, and a new video game is also in the works. There's been no information yet about the cast or crew, let alone a concrete release date. But this will be the first time in 16 years that the masked killer from Camp Crystal Lake appears in another feature film. The new movie will not be a reboot, but rather a regular new entry in the franchise canon. At the same time, the prequel series Crystal Lake is in development at A24. The series will explore the backstory surrounding the infamous summer camp setting, and will likely shed more light on Jason's origins. Unfortunately, no release date has been set for this either. The biggest box office duel is currently being fought between Superman and the Fantastic Four. The MCU film narrowly beat its competitor worldwide, earning $218 million over its opening weekend, just $1 million more than the Man of Steel. But in the meantime, Superman is now at over $510 million in total. Both movies appear to be the much-needed successes for Marvel and DC. It remains to be seen whether this streak of success will continue. A new case for Inspector Clouseau. In an interview with The Today Show, Eddie Murphy revealed that a new Pink Panther film is in the pipeline, and he himself will be taking on the lead role. The quirky detective with the mustache and charming accent was created in the 1960s by director Blake Edwards. Clouseau made his first appearance in the 1963 film The Pink Panther, portrayed by the unforgettable Peter Sellers. But later reboots, including 2 movies starring Steve Martin, couldn't replicate the original success. Now, new life is to be breathed into the franchise. This time with Eddie Murphy as Clouseau. He's already cracked jokes about the casting himself. Well, he has to be French, but he could also be Haitian. I will tell you, he's black. He's black for sure. The new Pink Panther will be directed by Jeff Fowler, who's best known for the Sonic the Hedgehog movies. And this movie is also planned to be a mix of live action and animation. The eponymous Pink Panther, previously seen only in the opening credits and cartoons, will be actively involved in the story this time. And besides the Clouseau comeback, Murphy also has other projects in the works. He reiterated that the Shrek spin-off centered on Donkey is still in development. In this new film, Donkey will experience his own adventure together with his dragon wife and his children. There are new developments regarding the planned sequel to The Social Network. According to Deadline magazine, Oscar winner Mikey Madison and Jeremy Allen White are in talks to join the cast. There haven't been any official offers made to the 2 actors yet. However, they are reportedly at the top of Aaron Sorkin's wish list, the director and screenwriter for the sequel. White, known for the series The Bear, could take on the role of the Wall Street Journal reporter Jeff Horwitz, author of the series of articles called The Facebook Files. Madison, recently acclaimed for the film Anora, might portray the whistleblower whose leaks form the basis of the series. The Social Network 2 is not a straight sequel, but rather a thematic follow-up. While the first movie focused on the founding years of Facebook, the new one aims to highlight the platform's darker sides, with particular reference to the revelations from the Facebook files in 2021. According to director Sorkin, the storming of the US Capitol and Facebook's responsibility plays a central role in the story. The American Monsterverse has its merits, but in recent years, Japan has also made a striking comeback with spectacular Godzilla films. Shin Godzilla and Godzilla -1 offer 2 completely different interpretations of the iconic atomic lizard. And now, there's exciting news. Sequels to both movies are in the pipeline. According to a report by Bloomberg, film studio Toho is planning to invest around $1 billion in the franchise over the next 3 years. The goal? To gain a global foothold and further strengthen the Godzilla brand. Now, it's been known for a while that a sequel to Godzilla -1 is underway, but there are more productions in the works, including a still untitled Southeast Asia project and the 2nd season of Monarch: Legacy of Monsters. Shin Godzilla 2 is also at the top of the list, although an official announcement is still pending. Director Hideaki Anno is currently busy with a new movie based on the sci-fi cult series Space Battleship Yamato. However, co-director Shinji Higuchi would be available for the sequel. What do you think? Are you fans of the Japanese Godzilla films? Or do you lean more towards Team Monsterverse? Thunderbolts and Captain America 4 underperformed at the box office, while things are currently looking more promising for the Fantastic Four. In any case, Marvel President Kevin Feige remains determined. During a recent press conference, he provided a comprehensive update on the future of the MCU. According to him, there's a 7-year plan extending through 2032, including a reboot. Specifically, a reboot of the MCU is planned after Avengers: Secret Wars, with singular timelines expected to be reset. This will create opportunities to recast iconic roles like Iron Man and Captain America, and Feige aims to make this a gradual transition, whatever that may mean. The upcoming X-Men film will likely play a special role in this process. Feige intends to establish the mutants as their own pillar within the MCU, and promises that new actors will definitely be cast for the roles. Feige also had an interesting statement regarding the Avengers' main villain. Reportedly, Marvel parted ways with Kang as the central antagonist earlier than expected. Quote, "Even before what happened to the actor, we had started to realize that Kang wasn't Thanos. There was only one character that could be that, because he was that in the comics for decades and decades. And because of the Fox acquisition, we finally had it. And that's Dr. Doom." The future of the new Blade project with Mahershala Ali, however, remains uncertain. Multiple director changes and creative disagreements have stalled production. The final version is now set to take place in the modern day. Earlier ideas for historical settings have been scrapped. Now, this casts new light on recent reports. Word had spread that the production of Michael B. Jordan's historical horror film Sinners had purchased costumes from the Blade production. Many took this as a sign that the Blade project had definitely been cancelled. But now, according to Kevin Feige at least, it seems more likely that the costumes were simply no longer needed due to the change in setting. Moreover, the MCU won't shy away from exploring darker tones going forward. The gigantic success of Deadpool and Wolverine has opened the door for more mature, hard-hitting productions. We're already looking forward to the planned Punisher special. According to Feige, the anti-hero is also set to appear in the upcoming Spider-Man 4 Brand New Day. Time will tell how this will affect the action in the next blockbuster. Despite the current crises, Feige remains confident that the MCU will continue to be relevant in the coming years. Fewer films, but with a stronger focus on quality and iconic characters. That's the guiding principle. Whether Feige himself will continue to lead Marvel until 2032 remains to be seen. His current contract runs for another 2 years. However, he assures us that he still wants to keep producing big blockbusters for a global audience. We cannot wait to see where the Marvel Cinematic Universe stands by the end of 2027. Will it pull off a major comeback? Or will James Gunn's DCU have taken the lead by then? Feel free to share your thoughts on this thrilling showdown between the two giants in the comments below. According to James Gunn, Wonder Woman is one of the core pillars of the DCU. Nevertheless, there had been little information about the character's next adaptation, until now. The Wrap reports that the writer for the new Wonder Woman film has now been found. The writer in question is Anna Nogueira, who's also behind the screenplay for the upcoming Supergirl movie starring Millie Alcock, and she'll also pen the script for the planned live-action Teen Titans film. The new Wonder Woman movie is expected to differ significantly from previous interpretations. Although a third Wonder Woman adventure with Gal Gadot was originally planned, the new heads of DC have opted for a complete reboot. So, as a result, a new actress will take on the iconic role, much like David Corenswet, who is taking over as the new Superman. So far, it remains unknown who will play the title role this time. However, among fans, and/or actress Adria Arjona is widely considered a hot contender.